So hi everybody, this is BJ Miller, palliative care doctor, and my dear friend and colleague Karen Schanche. Say hi, Karen.
Hi, everybody, and hi, BJ and Sonia. I'm Karen Schanche. I'm a palliative care social worker as well as a private practice psychotherapist that has a specialty in sex therapy, couples work, individual work in this whole
Mhm.
area of sexuality and intimacy.
Beautiful. Can't ask for a better person to be on this call with us. Karen, thank you.
Honored.
So we're here. We're just going to answer a few questions that were left over from our webinar today on sex and intimacy.
Hey,
So over to you, Sonia.
Thank you, BJ. And thanks for being here, Karen.
sure.
Okay,
Thank
one of the questions that we got at the end was, my husband passed away 5 years ago, and I have been alone since. The thought of dating still feels like cheating. Any suggestions for how to go forward? I have been in grief groups, counseling, but I'm still not able to bridge this void and move on into the future.
Well, I think you're in a brave new world in a lot of ways. First, coming into the world um, on your own without a partner right now, but with your partner in some ways through the grief. And just how are you embodying yourself right now, essentially, would be one of the questions I would ask. And I'm biased when I say this, so you need to know it probably would be helpful. I don't know of any group that's going to address this. You need to have a sense of safety first, and maybe an individual therapist who can deal with sexuality, intimacy, body image, and grief would be a good way to go. Because I think just stepping out in the world right now, you're also going to be facing, as we come out of COVID, everybody's in trauma and everybody's skeptical of each other. And what I don't want you to do is interpret that as there's something wrong with you, which is what happens and is what's beginning to happen. People get more fearful. It heightens fear. So going slow, really going step by step on this rather than rushing into dating or rushing into internet dating or online or something like that. I think people used to do that before COVID, and you might get a lot of advice to do it, but you need to feel emotionally safe. And if I think that's always a good place to start and to ground, if you know that word, to really take a deep breath or a pause to really check in with yourself about, does this feel safe enough right now to take the next step? Is that helpful?
That sounds beautiful to me, Karen. I would just add, this may be that you need a little more time with your grief. If you're not feeling the call to intimacy yourself, maybe you're feeling like you should be, or like maybe like Karen was suggesting, like avoid this idea that there's something wrong with you if you don't want to go there yet. And on the other side, avoid the sense that there's something wrong with you if you do want to go there yet and just don't know how. All of the above, it's all welcome here. But this point about maybe not feeling quite ready and maybe feeling like it sort of feels, if I heard you right, somehow dishonor to the partner you've lost to head in there, like you're cheating. That just may mean that you're not far enough along in the grieving process to really reach outside yourself just yet. So I like what Karen was saying. I just pay a real close attention to your body, what's going on inside of you.
Can I also add to that? Just beautifully said. And I think it's like weaving a tapestry. You're reconstructing the meaning of loss in that your husband is in your heart. You're not being disloyal, but kind of updating your loyalty to come back into body yourself and learn how to have both your own sensibilities, your own body. And that's going to bring up maybe some more grief, but love, the opposite of love is grief. It's not hate. So the idea of letting yourself go through that in a safe way and understanding the meaning of that for you and the pace of that and keeping it safe for you emotionally while you're doing this. It is like you are dealing with your grief, and I think you're beginning to take the next step into a transition that's a little different. So it may feel like you're not dealing with grief all of a sudden, but you actually are. It's a tender
Yeah,
place. Yeah, very tender. Yeah.
yeah. And grief can include longing, can include desire, etc. That's not anti-grief at all. It's
That's
all welcome in that bundle.